You know, December and January is always a really weird time for me. It's the time of the year where I get a lot of time off of school, and I spend some time catching up on my backlog of video games and playing things that I just didn't really have the time for outside of like a lot of time off. And this year, I decided that I was finally going to sit down and play through Lies of P. And I've been doing that a lot. And during this time is also a time like where I really just like to just like unwind by playing some games, listening to some podcasts, and just vibing. And during that time, I always just think to myself about life in general. I just kind of I never really stop thinking. But during this time, for some reason, like while I'm playing this game and I'm enjoying this game, I'm always thinking about something. And I had this really weird feeling this time, and I want to talk about that a little bit. And that's about losing friends. And I, in particular, thought about one friend. And you guys don't know him. He's never been a part of the channel, but he was a friend that I made all the way back in elementary school. And me and this dude were pretty tight. And we spent a lot of time together. We spent lunch together. We spent recess together. Like, this dude was my ride or die. And we literally made YouTube channels with each other because that's the kind of kids that we were. And we were really into content creation even at that age. And we were making dog shit content, but we were genuinely really interested in it. And just something about thinking about losing friends, man, it's really tough. And it's really odd too, because a lot of the times, unless there's a fight or some reason that you guys fell out, you don't really realize that it's happening. That's what I really thought about. Is I thought about it is because it was like we were literally friends from like a pretty young age up until like end of middle school. And it was the weirdest feeling when I like just looked back on those memories and I was like, yeah, we did kind of slowly fade away from one another. And just something about that is such a weird feeling. Because it's sort of like that thing where I've talked about like where you don't really realize the good times until they're over. I feel like it's the same kind of thing. I feel like you don't really realize that you're losing your friends before you lose your friends, man. And it's really weird to look back on, to be completely honest. And I kind of feel like there's not much that prepares you for that throughout your life. Like, I don't think that that's really something that we prepare our children for, to be honest. And like, it gives you this weird sense of loneliness is what I found, because I have plenty of friends now. I have friends that I've been friends with for like a decade, man. And the friends that I've had for a long time, both online and offline, and like, I'm not a lonely person, but it's so weird when you think about. And it's the weirdest feeling too when you reach out to that person and you either just don't get a response or just things feel different. And that's how it was with him. I reached out, this was back when I was still in high school, but he moved away and I messaged him and I was just like, hey dude, like, hey, what's up? And we sent like 3 or 4 messages back and forth, but it felt weird. And like, we still follow each other on social media. And every once in a while, just seeing what he's posting is so odd. It's like this weird little like spying into somebody's life, it almost feels like, because like we're both doing it to each other. Like, we're both looking at each other's stories, we're both liking each other's posts. Like, it's this really weird fucking feeling, man. It's so odd. And it doesn't matter what you do, because like at the end of the day you kind of know like, yeah, this relationship is over. And it's not because either of you hate each other, because they're just at different points in your life. And that's so weird, because for both me and him, we were friends for a large period while we changed. Like, when we first met, we were both pretty into like some really nerdy shit, like some real cringe shit. Like, we were both huge Sonic guys at the time still. And like, we evolved from that. I slowly moved more into the more edgy comedy shit that I'm into now, and he slowly moved into Homestuck and stuff like that, man. And like, we were still friends during that time period. We were still introducing each other to things and people that we're interested in. It's just so interesting to see how that changes. And it's like, you still have those memories and they're never gonna go away, but like, why do we cherish those memories so much? It's such an odd thing to me to just like think about the fact that no matter where I'm at in my life, I still have those memories. I still think about him sometimes. And that's what's so odd is like I know that he's doing good and I know that we're both in very different places in our life, but like isn't it odd that like I still think from time to time, I wonder what he's doing right now? Like I kind of almost wonder if he's thinking the same thing sometimes, man. And who knows? I know he checks out the channel sometimes, so who knows, man? If you're watching this, like, don't be afraid to reach out, man. I'm always down to play some Marvel Rivals or something, whatever you're grinding these days. But yeah, no, it's like I really love this time of the year because I usually catch up on some good stuff. Like I've been finally been sitting down playing Mario Odyssey and stuff. But like genuinely, I'll just be sitting there and I really think about life a lot. And I just think about just who I am as a person sometimes too. And I don't know why. I feel like I'm always thinking, and I'm always thinking of ways to improve and things. And I sometimes it's okay if you're not improving constantly. And I've mentioned that, like, you don't need to improve every day. I'm not one of those fucking psychopaths. But I don't know, just something about sitting down with a nice cup of coffee and playing some Stardew Valley just makes me think about who I am as a person. Like, I just think that the gameplay is so relaxing. Like, even like when you're playing an RPG or like, you know, like with me and Lies and P, after a while, like it's kind of just free flowing. Like you're not really, like you're focusing on the game, but you're not focusing and trying like you were when you were a level 15. And I just wonder about that sometimes, what makes us do that. But, you know, anyways, I just kind of wanted to hop on and ramble today. I didn't really have anything crazy and existential to bring to you guys, but, yeah, that's really all what I had. See ya.